Hello world. So just before Christmas I put out a video, an instrumental music video where I had made some music, and I put some text alongside that video explaining how I'd found the process of actually making that video quite difficult, and I think this was a result of not making any music for a little while. So although the patch was quite simple, I think it was just a couple of voices and it was a classic rings, clouds thing, with a little bit of morphogene as well. Yeah, I found the actual making of that bit of music a little bit difficult. And when I think back to the actual session where I was recording that, I'd made a patch and it wasn't working, and I pulled all the cables out and started again, and I'd probably done that a few times, gone away and then come back, and eventually managed to come up with something that I thought was okay. And yeah, so it was a little bit of a difficult patch to make. And you know, for a brief time I started to think to myself, what am I doing here? Why am I trying to do this? Why am I doing this channel? I started doubting everything. Do I even know how to make music? Why am I doing all these things? But you know, eventually I sort of got into a groove and I started to come up with something, and you know, I felt a little bit better later on. So I think that this feeling is a result of not making music for a little while, mainly because I've been sort of more focused on other things, on doing these sort of talking videos for one. I've been doing a lot of reading, etc, 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 lots of other things which have kind of got in the way of the actual making of music. So a lot more kind of talking about making music than actually making music. Okay, before I go any further though, I should probably just say, if you'd like to support this channel further, you can do so by hitting the like button and also subscribing to see more videos. It really does help the channel, and I know that there are a lot of people out there that watch the videos and don't subscribe, so please do subscribe if you are enjoying these videos. Okay, so what was I saying? And then sort of coincidentally, I watched a video by Peter McKinnon. So I don't know if any of you guys know Peter McKinnon. He is a photographer and filmmaker. He's got a very large following on his YouTube channel, which is probably into the millions of followers. And I've watched a lot of his videos for a couple of years now. But he made a video a month or a couple of months ago where he talks about, I can't remember the title of the video, but he talks about the trap of not creating. The trap of not creating. I'll put a link to his video down in the description, so if any of you are interested in watching that, you can check it out. But basically, he describes creativity as a muscle that needs working. Okay, and if you work that muscle regularly, like any muscle, you know, if you go to the gym or if you take part in sports or cycling, swimming, whatever, if you exercise a muscle, then it gets stronger, and creativity is no different. The more creative work you do and the more you try and create things, then the easier it is to create things. And he also says, you know, and this is from his experience of several years of making YouTube videos, that the you know, if you stop creating for whatever reason, then you just get better at not creating. You get better at not making stuff, basically. So yeah, your ability doesn't get any better by thinking about doing things or talking about doing things or researching ideas. Your creativity only gets better by actually doing things. It doesn't really matter how much you talk about or how much you look into it or research or whatever. That's not going to help you. And actually, you just get better at not making things. Okay, I hope that sort of makes sense. And the longer that goes on, the longer that you spend not making things and not doing things, the easier it is to not do things, and the harder it is to actually do stuff or make stuff or create stuff. He also talks about he also talks about the gap between having an idea and actually putting that idea into action. And again, this is from his own experience, and I would say that this is something that I have I've noticed myself as well. You know, when you get an idea, a fresh idea, and you think, "Oh, this is brilliant! This is amazing! It's the best thing ever!" And if you go straight away and try and execute that idea, then you know it'll work or it won't work, whatever. But you know, you will go and do the thing straight away because you're excited. The more time that passes from you having the idea to actually creating or doing whatever it is that you've had the idea to do, the more time in between the idea and the doing, the less likely it is that you're going to actually do the thing, because you'll probably end up talking yourself out of it. You'll convince yourself that it's not really a very good idea, and so it's not worth bothering with. So what he sort of advocates is that as soon as you have an idea, you should try and put that into action straight away, and not spend too much time thinking about it. Okay. The longer you think about something, or the longer you talk about something, the less likely it is that you'll actually do it. Now, that makes a lot of sense to me, because there's definitely times when I've experienced that, where you know I've had ideas for making videos, or I've had ideas for trying something out on Modular Synth. I'll write them down in my notebook so I don't forget them later, or I'll think about them a little bit further, and then by the time I actually come around to it, I think, oh, I'm not sure that's a good idea. Nobody's going to be interested in watching that, or that's not going to work. Instead of just trying it and seeing what happens, I convince myself that it's a bad idea. So all of this kind of, it feeds into I think what I was experiencing before Christmas, where I was trying to make this piece of music. I wanted to put out an instrumental video. It just wasn't working. It took me a lot of effort to make that video and to make that track. So you know, Christmas and New Year, that period has sort of passed us by now, and by the way, I hope you all have had a really good Christmas and New Year. You know, it's a bit of a hectic time. It can be busy time visiting friends and family and so on. And so, you know, for myself, I haven't really done very much creatively over Christmas. So it's early January now. It's time to get back into the rhythm of things. Time to get back into the swing of things. And you know, having had that little blip before Christmas, now is the time to sort of knuckle down and start getting back to the routine of making music and creating and all the rest of it. And here I am talking about it, not doing it. So how best to sort of try and do this? Well, you know, the obvious thing would be to kind of, you know, set some sort of New Year's resolution. And I think that is something that we will often do around this time of year. We will think about, you know, what have we not been able to do over the last year? What do we want to do? What are we hoping to try and achieve? Let's set a New Year's resolution, and let's see if we can make a change to our situation. You know, and I might think to myself, right, what's my New Year's resolution going to be? Well, it's going to be to make more music. I'm going to have the New Year's resolution of making more music, and that sounds like that would be a worthy thing to do. But the reality of the situation is that I might start out trying to make more music, but I haven't really got a plan there. There's nothing that's actually going to make any difference to my life other than saying I'm going to make more music. There's nothing there that's going to make any significant changes from what I was doing before I made that resolution. So the likelihood is that I'll just kind of forget that resolution, or it'll just go out the window. You know, it just won't happen. And this is the classic thing that people do is, oh yeah, I'm going to New Year's resolution. I'm gonna be more fit. I'm gonna go to the gym. I'm gonna get healthy. You buy your gym membership. You go the first week or so, and then you just sort of forget about it, don't you? And that's the end of it. Okay, because there's no plan there. There's nothing. There's no structure in place. But also, it's a very hard thing to introduce new things into your life. There's a lot of resistance. I think the human mind doesn't like change a lot of the time. It likes to hold on to the patterns and routines that we have, and when you try and put something else in, it doesn't like that. So it will fight, and it will come up with all sorts of reasons why you shouldn't do that thing that you've said you're going to do, because it doesn't want to change what is already the state of play. So how can we overcome this? Well, I think part of what we need to do is to look at bringing in a new habit. Okay, trying to create some kind of new habit. So rather than sort of saying I'm going to do X, Y, and Z, what we will do instead is to try and create a new habit. Okay, and that needs to be something that is easy to do, that you can do with fairly sort of regularity, a fair amount of regularity, and is something that is realistic, that you can keep at. This is what I'm going to try and do this year, is instead of making a New Year's resolution, I'm going to try and make a New Year habit. Okay, and then hopefully over time, if I can sustain this, whatever it is I'm going to do as a new habit, then it becomes part of my program, and it enters into my mind as part of my routine and what I do, and hopefully it will make some kind of change in the long term. At least that's the plan. So what am I going to do for my New Year habit? Well, I'm going to set myself a challenge. Okay, I think it's going to be quite difficult, but I'm going to try it anyway. I've just said whatever you do needs to be sort of manageable and easy, and straight away I'm setting myself up for a failure here by doing something that might be quite difficult. But I'm going to give it a go. Now, this is something that I have done before, so I at least know that it is possible. So a few years ago, when I started out with this channel, I was doing a lot of stuff that was related to guitar music, because I am a guitar player. And it was before I even had a modular synth or knew anything about modular synth, and I set myself a challenge for 30 days that I was going to make a short improvisation video every single day for 30 days. I started filming it on my phone, and then as time went on, started getting a little bit more involved, and I started getting a camera out and making backing tracks for the improvisations. And so anyway, it was just meant to be a very simple thing, a 1 minute, just playing the guitar, a 1 minute improvisation every single day for 30 days. Okay, so I thought, well, let's try and resurrect this challenge. So I'm going to do the same again. I'm going to take 30 days starting today. Now today is Monday. You're probably watching this video on a Tuesday. So if you're watching this video the day it comes out, that was yesterday. This is getting confusing already. Never mind. I've started the challenge as far as this video goes. So I'm going to try and make a patch every single day for 30 days. A completely brand new patch, starting from no cables at all. I'm going to patch something. I'm going to jam with it for 10 minutes, whatever. I'm going to try and record that on a video, and then I'm going to pull all the cables out. Actually, I'm not going to pull the cables out straight away, because I'll write down what I've done first, and then I'll pull the cables out. I'm going to do that every single day for 30 days. Okay. So, let me just say that again, so I've got it straight in my head. I'm going to do a brand new patch every single day for 30 days. I'm going to have a little jam with that patch, and then I'm going to abandon it, and the next day will be a completely new patch. Now, for some of you, that might fill you with dread or horror at the idea of patching for just such a short amount of time and not really spending time to explore that patch properly. But I think this could be a worthwhile activity. And hopefully, by doing this repetitively every single day, it will sort of kickstart my creativity and sort of get me out of this little creative rut that I've been feeling. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try and make a new patch every single day for 30 days and record that. So I'm not bothered about whether it's any good or not. The result sounds good or sounds terrible or whatever, or if it's amazing. That doesn't matter. I just want to go through the process of patching something up, having a little jam with it, and then abandoning it. Okay, I'm not going to get attached to whatever I produce. If something comes out of it that's good, then hopefully I will have recorded that in my journal, so after the 30 days has gone by I could come back to some of these patches and explore them a little bit further and develop them if I want to. If I don't want to, that's fine. I've got 30 little ideas that I can have a little play around with, and you know, that might be something interesting. I'm going to try and keep the patches as simple as possible. I'm not going to sort of try and do anything really complicated. Of course, if that naturally happens, then you know, that's great, so be it. But yeah, so that's what I'm going to do. Now you might like to join in with this as well, and if you do, then by all means, you know, let me know in the comments that you're going to do that, and you know, maybe we can sort of post the results somewhere. I haven't decided yet exactly where I am going to post the results. I might put the videos up on here. I might just put them up as shorts. I think that actually might be the best thing, is to just put it up as a little short. I don't know yet. I haven't quite decided. I thought about putting it on Instagram, but then that's a bit pointless. No one goes on Instagram, do they? Or do they? I don't know. Maybe I'll definitely put them on my Patreon. I'm definitely going to put them on the Patreon. I don't know whether I'll put them on this YouTube channel or not. It might just be shorts. But anyway, they'll exist somewhere. And that's just to sort of hold me to account and hopefully keep me on track a little bit. So yeah, if you want to join in with that, if you want to take part with that, then you know, you are more than welcome to do so, and let me know that you're doing that. Of course, you know, if the idea of patching and then having to repatch so quickly really does fill you with dread, you could take it another way. You could come up with a patch, and then you've got to stick to that patch for 30 days, and you've got to come up with as many different, or every single day, a different jam based on that patch without repatching at all. That's, you know, that's kind of like an opposite challenge, I suppose. That could be interesting as well. Maybe I'll do that one, you know, the following 30 days. Anyway, I think we've kind of got to the end of this video. Okay, so if you find this helpful, if you find it interesting, then please hit the like button. And if you like these videos and would like to see more of them, hit the subscribe button. It does help the channel, and it helps me know that that you're out there and enjoying the content that I make. And of course, if you do want to support the channel further, I do have a Patreon, which I'm in the process of sort of overhauling at the moment and trying to get that up and running. But you can buy me a coffee using the links below. Yeah, so please check those out if you'd like to support the channel further. Okay, well, I think that is it for today. So thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Cheerio.